Give me the clap.
Good day and welcome to Swords, Boards and Beards.
Good day.
Good day. Salutations.
What is this? Medieval times? Forsooth, sir, I see thou hast arrived in my abode.
Verily. Welcome to episode 21 of Swords, Boards and Beards. This is our first recording of the year of our Lord 2025.
Thou hast come of age, sir. We can now drink and thou's...
Must be wedded. Landed.
In those times, didn't they get married at 14?
I don't know, he died at 21. He got sent off to war or got the plague or something.
Oh. So, welcome to Swords, Boards and a history lesson. What we're going to talk about today is the history of the...
No, we're not.
Hello.
Hello.
Happy New Year. We verily...
Hope you all recovered from a festive season of...
Inaugurations.
Oh, God.
No. We're not going to mention him again. So
no. Yeah. So we thought we could, this week, we'd do a bit of a break from the doom scrolling, the pit of despair, the oubliette
of despair. Mel Smith's best performance ever.
The oubliette of X/Meta/ any of that business, and talk about things this year that we are looking forward to.
Yay!
Media-wise, predominantly. There might be life events, I don't know.
What geek shit are we excited by?
We're going to cover movies, if there is any. We're going to cover video games, we'll cover tabletop stuff, and we'll cover
RPs.
TV shows as well.
Yeah, just a kind of a forward thing to 2025, what's coming out that we're looking forward to that would be worth keeping your ear to the ground about.
Scrape some silver out of that silver lining.
Yes. And some nickel and some copper too. Very good.
Okay, so what section would we like to start with?
You're singing.
My singing? It's not a year's anniversary yet.
But it will be this year. That's what I'm looking forward to.
That's what we're looking forward to.
Yeah, the most exciting thing I'm looking forward to this year
is me singing on the channel. Okay. No pressure.
End of episode. It's been a pleasure, guys. That's just my year summed up. I want to hear my friends sing to me.
You've heard me sing enough, though. I sing at D&D every week.
No, your dad dance.
Yeah. I sang Mambo number 5 on Monday.
Yeah, there was no need for that. It made me cringe. What should we start with? Well, dealer's choice. This episode was entirely your brainchild, so...
Yeah. Okay, let's start with role-playing games that we are excited to play in 2025.
Go on.
I'm excited to continue our current Dungeons & Dragons campaign and see where that goes.
For those of you who listened to a previous episode of us, we had our friend Sam making memes on. We had an episode a while back called Love, Death and Alcohol. And Sam came on to talk about his many deaths.
He died again on Monday.
Which it was mental considering he wasn't the only person rolling death saves at the same time. And he was the one that
bit
died.
Dust.
So I think, well, Will Wheaton is famous for how badly he rolls dice. Like, it's infamous across the internet. I think that Sam making me may be the equivalent, but with character deaths. Because it could have been Sophie.
Yeah, could have been.
And in fact, wasn't Steph? No, someone else. I can't remember. It felt like it was more than them. But... yeah, he died to Harpies punching his face in.
Yeah. Ignoble death for a gnome rogue.
Yes, while you and I stood at the top of the cliff and watched.
I stood and held a rope out, going, you climb up in a minute. Oh no, they're both dead.
Love
it. Get down there and fight them.
It is good fun, and it made. I was talking to Jace, formerly of this parish, afterwards when we walked home, and he was feeling really bad. But actually, as I said, death brings consequence. So if you don't die. Where's the danger? Where's the threat? I don't know. D&D can be fun without death, but also I like the fact it brings.
And I think you can go through games of Dungeons and Dragons, long-term characters and long-term campaigns of people online and stuff. And I find that if you've not got that peril, that threat of that, danger and stuff, there's only so much you can do to keep it fresh.
Yeah. Otherwise,
if you know that no matter what's coming at you, you're going to win because you're the heroes. At what point does that not get a bit stale?
Yeah. Where is the gamble? I mean, if you think about something like Alien, where
you're not expected to live.
You're not expected to live very long, but the threat on people's faces on we were playing on Tuesday the danger of, oh, we're fighting, what am I meant to do? And Holly, this is another thing on the list of things I'm looking forward to playing. 2 reasons. Is Aliens this year. And Holly was playing, being grabbed by the beastie, being pulled along, not killed, not eaten there and then, but taken away to be consumed later. And she couldn't roll to get out of its grapple. And was just, her face was like, because it mattered, even though we know, having played previous Alien campaigns, you die a lot. Death matters. And within D&D, I think particularly, it otherwise, okay.
Yeah, and I find with, like, I don't know, my personal sort of experience with watching other campaigns do death in their games, Critical Role being the standout one for me. When there is a character death, and it's the professional actors are all very sad, and there's tears and all that sort of stuff, a little bit of me goes, well, in 3 episodes' time, they're going to find a way to resurrect them. You know?
Or
is there any peril? Because, I mean, like...
They have to choose to go away, didn't they? I remember having a character die in a campaign I was running, and we paused. They died, the fight continued. No one knew they were dead. They got through the baddies, we went to look. Oh no, they really are dead. And then we wrapped the episode up, and in the week between, I had a chat with the player and said, what do you want to do?
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to find a way to see if they can resurrect, or do you want to call it quits?
Start afresh. Yeah.
And start afresh. And interestingly, Sam went, I want to start afresh.
Well, interestingly enough, Sam was rolling stats for a new character as we were still in the combat.
Yeah, he created his new character before we'd left that evening.
Yeah, there was a photo in our group chat of his prospective new character straight away.
It looked very like you.
It does, doesn't it?
Yeah.
What can I say? I'm an archetype.
It's going to be an absolute wanker then.
Yeah, probably.
Because, no, more D&D this year, please. More Beasties. It'd be interesting when this coming month, the new Monster Manual
comes out. That's this month, isn't it?
Where they have re-upped and refreshed and looked at what's OP and what's not.
Okay.
And more Beasties. There's apparently, it's a bigger book, and there's like 70 new creatures. They've re-upped all the old ones, but they've added at least, I think it's 70.
Oh, that's exciting.
So it will be really interesting.
Because a lot of the time, with Jace's D&D campaigns, he homebrews his own monsters.
Yeah, because he doesn't like... No, he thinks it's unfair.
And I also kind of like... I can see where he's coming from, because when you've played enough of a game system, you know instantly what you're going up against, and you know its weaknesses, and you know its strengths, and you know what to do and what not to do and stuff. So, you know, when even in like descriptions, you got like several heads of a big snake come out of the ground, like has a hydra. No, I'm doing.
It's got wings. It's going to attack from, and it depends on the DM who's running it, whether that. But you're right. Once you fought, if you were to fight, I've forgotten his name entirely. That's really good. Well done. Great audio. Beholder. Thank you. Sorry. And once you fought it enough, you know which eyes are which eyes, and you just know what's coming.
Well, I remember a campaign we played previously where I was describing a Beholder's lair and was like, obviously I hadn't revealed it was Beholder yet, but I was advised that there was like perfectly preserved statues of like previous adventurers. And then when they walked into the big cylinder, where it had obviously cut the layer out of its eye, as soon as I mentioned it was a perfect cylinder, Jace was the first one because he knows it inside out. Was just like, oh god. So, you know, but it'd be nice to play with new creatures where you don't know exactly what it is.
And perhaps that's why they've done it. Yeah. Because they need to freshen. I mean, I don't know why, because I haven't been looking for it. On my YouTube feed, there's been a few videos that are old, but they're popping up for some reason, and I've not been looking for them saying why you need to stop playing D&D now. 52 reasons to stop playing. Which is a bit negative, because each their own. But I would say whether they're trying to refresh it and just kind of make it, as you say, because otherwise, eventually you're going to.
Eventually, it gets stale.
It's a Taras,
but
it's a Albert.
Yeah, but that's why there's a multitude of other game systems which are only getting more and more popular as time goes on. So, talking of multiple game systems and other things that I am looking forward to, you have just picked up, or on the way to pick up, Delta Green.
It's on the shelf. I'll show you when we finish recording. It arrived yesterday.
Exciting, yes. I'm very excited to play something like that.
It does look. So for those of you who don't know, Delta Green was made by the guys. They used to work for the guys who made Call of Cthulhu.
Chaosium.
And it became so popular, it became its own game because they were trying to modernise Call of Cthulhu. So if you imagine it's the X-Files crossed, but instead of searching for I want to believe aliens, it's the X-Files trying to contain a Cthulhu mythos type thing and stop the world from knowing it happens. And that's the point. If nothing else happens, if you fail, if the world doesn't find out about it, you've achieved something.
Oh, clever.
So you don't have to necessarily solve every puzzle, but you need to stop the world from knowing. So you all start as a US government employee.
Yeah.
So the campaign I'm watching as I learn the game, one of them works for the post office. That's their cover identity because it's technically a federal agency.
Yeah.
Another person is an archaeologist who works for the National Park Service.
Mm-hmm.
And another one's your cliche of an FBI agent. That's your cover.
Yeah.
And
deep down, you're part of the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen or whatever it is.
So you get in. So in their first puzzle, I won't tell you this is the campaign I want to run for us.
Yeah.
They are using. Whoever's real FBI has the real FBI ID. Those who aren't, they've got fake FBI IDs and fake cover identities.
Yeah, to get you into different places and stuff like that. Yeah.
And then the horror takes place, and it's very, very, very similar to Call of Cthulhu, but not quite. And it's all set in modern times.
Cool. I'm excited. So very excited to play that.
So, well, this one starts in 1995, so it's close enough. Like the internet exists, but you have to go to a dial-up cafe.
Okay, cool.
So it does it, but you just can't bring out your smartphone.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
But you do have cards, you do have phones, you do have pages. You can't just text your mate.
Yeah.
You can pay to them.
I tell you what, right? If you let me know when we're looking, I mean, it'll be obvious because Jason will start losing steam with D&D, and we'll look to play something else for a bit and stuff. As it always goes, time immemorial. But when that time rolls around, I will finally watch Twin Peaks because I've not seen it yet.
Oh.
And obviously David Lynch passed away and stuff. So
poor David.
So yeah, it's and I think that watching things like Twin Peaks and the X-Files will get me right in the mindset.
So it's exactly what I'm doing now currently. So that as I learn the game and I learn the system and I learn this particular storyline, it's really cool. I like it. There's 4 chapters to it. There's 4 cases to the whole book. Cool. And I'm currently in the middle of case 2, and it's the same characters unless you die, of course. But yeah, so
Sam.
Look at you, Sam.
Look at you, Sam.
Thing I'm excited about playing this year, I'm actually going to go into the Kickstarter for it. Is that we've talked about it a lot on the podcast. Is the Alien RPG, but I'm looking forward to the Kickstarter because they're bringing out the Evolved edition.
Yeah, it's like the next edition or whatever.
But they're basically
2.0 or whatever.
They've listened to the players.
Yeah.
After 5 years of listening to the players, that's how long things until they get re-upped.
Mm-hmm.
They've redesigned the book with a new guy who wrote the Morkborg book.
Oh, good.
So I'm really, because they're infamous, Free League. For anyone who's played a Free League game, both players with me who've borrowed the book. On Tuesday we were playing Blade Runner.
Yeah.
Whichever Wednesday I was playing Blade Runner. And I handed over the core rule book so that Toby, guest of this podcast, could look at, you want to see you could augment yourself in that game.
Want to see the table.
And he was trying to find, and could he? And everyone who's gone, the book layout was just what?
Yeah, that's the only sort of downside to those systems. But it does look,
the layout looks different, the design looks different.
Well, singing the praises of Dungeons and Dragons again, new player's handbook, which I got over Christmas, it's laid out beautifully. It's so nice, like going, all right, okay, I want to be a barbarian. Right, there's the table. Or I want to be a wizard. On the very next page, there's my list of wizard spells. Great, fantastic. I don't have to go to the back of the book and go, can I cast these and stuff? Like,
finally,
the descriptions are in the back, but that's fine, But having that information right there is beautiful. Yeah, lovely,
really helpful. So hopefully the layout will be different. They're bringing out a new start set, which on one level I'm the geek, so I want to collect everything.
Yeah, of course you do.
But also
you're going to run out of shelf space, mister.
I have. That's a next story. They're releasing minis.
Ooh.
And the maps that are in the start set are big enough and designed so the minis fit.
Let me paint them for you.
Yeah, but I've got plenty of alien minis you can paint upstairs already.
Let me finish my Space Marines, but then
yeah. So I mean, it's really interesting. And then they're bringing out a new cinematic campaign where your space truck is properly
cool.
So I want to, if nothing else, I'd like to hook that up.
That's the part of the Alien RPG that really speaks to me. Is the space truckers or colonists or because I don't want to be Marines. Like, Marines are cool, but it was what I'm in it for.
The ones we've played. You've played the 3 with me so far.
Yeah.
The first one was very Prometheus, which is meh. I have no
feelings either way.
Special features were interesting on the disc.
Right.
And then the second one was very much Marines.
Yeah.
And this current one is an ode to somewhere between Resurrection and...
Yeah, it's all scientists and stuff.
Scientists, but they've yet to do a cinematic campaign. It's all there in the book for you to run one. But they've yet to do a campaign, a cinematic scenario where your trucker. So it'd be cool to be able to be Dallas and talk about the bonus situation.
Yeah, absolutely.
Do it properly. So that is something that the Kickstarter comes out in April and they release it next autumn. Autumn 25 is when it will actually come on your shelf.
Autumn 26.
No, definitely this year, and yes, looks very shiny and new.
Beautiful.
So, yes, looking forward to that. Looking forward to Delta Green. I'm also intrigued by... it's interesting. I was thinking about which other things are out or coming out and why I would pick them. The other thing it's got my radar clear, but enough that I've recently purchased that I don't need any.
Yeah, you've currently got a glut of games.
I've glut of games because I bought the Lord of the Rings stuff. But the one that kind of caught my interest, because it popped up on my feed, was Pendragon. It's been out for ages.
Yeah, it's the Arthurian Knights one, isn't it? Yeah.
And I realised what I do when I look at a game, apart from, okay, that's Knights, that's cool. Then it's the mechanics, and how does the mechanics work, and they differ. And then when it's a game that I might like to play, it's like, and who would I play this with? There's no point in buying a game.
I'll tell you right now, if you were to say, do you want to play an RPG where you're an Arthurian knight, Jason would bite your arm off.
Yeah. So it's that kind of vibe of like, there's no point in buying a game that you want to run. No one wants to
play it. That was the issue I found with buying the Alien before you came along and joined our group and stuff, was that the girls just don't like it. They're not up for it. And that's fair enough. That's not a problem. But
it's not for everybody.
It's not for everyone. But
the group we play that with do seem to lap it up and go with it. It's like, okay. So I'm looking forward to seeing if they've managed to make the rules strip and actually listen to folk. And having played the first version solidly and understand it, to then see, okay, what have we done? Okay.
Yeah.
This makes sense. This is easy already, but okay, make it easier. Because it's meant to be stripped down and easier to understand.
Okay. I've got no experience with it, so
I don't think it's that hard.
I just know the setting.
Oh no, the Alien one about.
Oh, you're talking about Alien, sure.
I didn't think it's that hard. It's a very clever system with Pendragon where you end up having a balance.
We'll talk about it later.
Yeah, but it's good.
Cool.
So yes, so my 2025 and games I recommend you look at are then.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Just thinking, is anything else on the horizon that I know is coming? No. There will be, but those start with them. Start with them.
We've got a whole year of podcasts.
It's another. This is it. I'm going to do a podcast at one point, and I've said this last year, where it's about how do you plan structure. Because actually, if you're running a game, how do you then plan the midterm and how do you then plan the long term?
Yeah.
Because my brain, this week, my brain's picked up all those games we talked about, and my long term is Pendragon. But it will be long term. It will be forever. I've got games on my shelf. We talked about playing Deadlands. I've owned it for 2 years, not touched it.
We've not touched it, yeah.
But other games on that shelf I have played.
I've perfected my cowboy accent.
Go on.
No, I'm not doing it. Not until we play.
You perfected it?
Yep.
We can sit in silence until you do it.
No, I'm not doing it.
Other things that you might be excited about this year, Mr. Adam?
Yeah, so there's a bunch of new Games Workshop stuff coming out this year.
Is there?
Which I'm excited about. They've already started debuting a lot of stuff.
Tell me.
So the Astra Militarum, the regular Joes of 40k, have just had their codex updated for 10th edition.
Mm-hmm.
And
when's 11th due?
11th will be due, I think, 2 years from now.
27.
Something like that. And rumour has it that they're not going to do like a full refresh of everything. It will just be like almost like a 10.5. Like your previous codexes will carry over. There'll just be a slight updates to the rules and things like that.
Who are they and what have they done?
Yeah, exactly. So that'd be nice if that is the case. That's not confirmed.
I mean, I say that, but Dungeons & Dragons just done 5.5, and
but that took 5 years.
Yeah,
2014.
In the sense of you still need to buy new stuff.
Yeah.
So James will not be short of new purposes.
No, of course not. But they still got the rest of the factions to go through, and that's the way they're sort of doing it. Is each faction comes out, they update their model range potentially, or they'll and they update the codex at the same time. So they've just done the Astra Militarum, which are the Imperial Guard, your regular rank and file. Just sir, no sir, 3 bags full, sir.
They literally look like normal soldiers, don't they?
Going up against the horrors of the galaxy, and they look fantastic. Whole model range refresh at the Greek beauty.
Is that your third army of choice?
No. Steph didn't know they existed, so I was watching a battle report or a game on YouTube the other day. Someone was playing with the new Astra Militarum stuff to sort of debut the new rules and things like that. And she was like, "They're just regular men." I was like, "Yeah." So they don't seem like they're going to stand a chance against like 10-foot tall space marines or demons from the warp or alien orcs that are like.
So how do they?
Guns, holy bolt fire.
So it's basically
faith, steel, and gunpowder.
So what is the what? I mean, it's a sidebar, but it's a sidebar because you're right. I've always wondered what is their gimmick that makes them actually at least keep up with everyone else.
So what they're like army rule or whatever.
Or is it like I know the orcs once they're in the wire, you're stuffed, or the close up you're stuffed when you meet an orc. So what's their equivalent?
So they have got incredible artillery. They've got huge mass infantry, so your standard squad is 20 plus guys.
Okay. A lot. Okay, so it's swarming by numbers.
Yeah, a bunch of different guns and equipment in there. Their army rule, I believe, is orders. So like command models, so commissars, command squads, tank commanders, things like that, can issue orders to squads and say, right, you need to move, which gives them extra movement, or take aim, which gives them a better chance at shooting and things like that. And you do that at the beginning of each of your phases, or each of your command phase each turn. So yeah, there's a cool gimmick, but I kind of like the idea of regular Joes having to go up against this stuff.
Yeah,
I think Starship Troopers and stuff like that. But previous editions, they made loads of different flavours of Imperial Guards. They had all sorts, every style of sort of military from our history, sci-fied up and put into 40k. So you had like the Vostroys, which were like all Yushenka wearing Russian-looking guys. You had the Praetorian Guard, who were like Zulu Dawn sort of. Jensen, hand me my elephant gun. Like those sort of the English style with the red and white coats.
Yeah.
You know, those sort of the Katachian jungle fighters, which are like Vietnam veterans. You know what I mean, they all look different sort of styles of them, and they've kind of done away with a lot of that and focused on the very couple of them. So, but they've updated the models and they look lovely. Nice. That's the one that's out just now. I think pre-orders are literally available today. So if you pre-order the big box and all that, today's the day you pick them up, the day of recording this episode. So lots of people are happy with that. The next one they're doing, excuse me, is Eldari.
Okay.
Space Elves. I've got nothing really to say about Space Elves. I'm not a fan, if I'm completely honest. But they are the second most popular army after Space Marines in 40k.
Are they really? More than Orcs, more than Sisters, more than...
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I didn't think they would be, because of your reaction. The reaction I assumed would be most people's reaction.
Nope. They're hugely popular. And they've not had new miniatures since like 1994 or something ridiculous like that. So there's some like that are still metal. They're that old.
That is ridiculous.
So they've had a complete update.
Why have they not in 30 years bothered?
I don't know. But they've had a complete update and they look incredible. Like the new models do look really cool. But that's on the horizon. That's that's not out yet. And then the following one that they've set up is Emperor's Children, which I'm quite excited about personally. They are the Sons of Fulgrim, the Demon Primarch of Slaanesh.
Ooh.
And the only Chaos God that's not had an army representation for quite a time. So it's Sonic Noise Marines and things like that, and Excessive Pleasure and all that sort of stuff. They're all very pink and they're all very black and they're all very cool looking. So I'm quite excited for them. But that's the 40k thing. So there's a lot coming out, and then they've got all their other factions. They've announced that this year is the year of Chaos. So Death Guard, World Eaters, Thousand Suns will all get their updates this year.
Nice.
For 10th edition, and then they'll move on into the other factions after that. So that'll be cool. Crusade is something else I'm looking forward to tabletop wise. We're 2 games into our Crusade now, and it's been lots of fun so far.
Very good.
Playing my reasonable Space Marines and getting my ass kicked, but it's good fun.
Explain to the folks at home in 60 seconds what a campaign is.
So a Crusade is equivalent of think D&D, but instead of you controlling one character, you control a whole army. So they all get levels up, they all get experience, they all have missions, they all have jobs to do, and then each week when you fight an opponent, you're trying to complete agendas at the same time as winning the battle. Agendas can be all sorts of different things. So mine are all movement shenanigan based stuff. So it's all sort of like running away from enemy charges and disappearing off the map and coming back on and stuff. So a lot of my agendas are things like get to the opponent's deployment zone and live to the end of the fight and things like that. So yeah, it's fun. It's really good fun.
And your players, your characters can take injuries too, can't
they?
They
can take
injuries. The next game.
Yeah.
So one game impacts the next, which is not.
Yeah.
Which is a standard game of Warhammer. Each their own.
You play the game, you finish the game, cool.
But each effects, good and bad, can negatively or positively.
They carry over and you all gain XP and level level up and stuff, so it starts to snowball. If you start winning and winning and winning, you guys get better and better and better, and then you're harder and harder and harder to beat. So, Jace. But yeah, it's lots of fun. We're having a great time with it. So, and we've got some fresh faces about City who we didn't have last time, who have come in and they're really excited, and it's lovely to see new people joining it and getting involved and stuff. And it's Joe, who was running the previous Crusade, is running this one again, and he's learnt a lot from the last one.
He's going to come and talk about that, isn't he?
He is going to come and talk about that with us at some point. So yeah, it's really nice to be back doing it and having a weekly game of Warhammer to look forward to. You know,
yeah. When did the last one finish? Before Christmas?
Yeah, a little while back. I think it was like November or something.
Nice.
But that lasted, 6 or 7 months.
Yeah.
And the way he's trying to set it up, and I'm sure we'll talk more about it when we have him on. But it's like a perpetual thing, so you can drop in, drop out.
Nice.
You can come in 3 years down the track or whatever, and there'll still be games available to play, and which will be lovely. So
nice.
Yeah, so that's my 40k update for the start of 2025.
And the other thing
looking forward to.
You said, you might not engage with this in terms of, but the other thing, war gaming thing you said you were excited about was the skirmish. Was it the Fallout skirmish?
Yeah, the Wasteland Warfare stuff from Phidias for Fallout. So it's it looks quite cool. There's a couple of little skirmish games that are doing the rounds at the moment, which I'm quite interested in. Because it's smaller commitment. It's like you might only have to paint 4 or 5 miniatures, which is doable.
You can do that in an afternoon.
Well, I can't. It takes me a day to paint a single regular space marine. But yeah, so smaller sort of scale factions and just new games to play and stuff like that. There's 2 that are really itching that part of my brain at the moment. And it's Wasteland Warfare for Fallout, which think about painting a gang of raiders, going into the wasteland, or 4 or 5 super mutants, or a couple of Brotherhood of Steel boys in power armor and kicking the crap out of each other.
Yeah.
And the other one is Trench Crusade.
Yes, Jay's talking about this.
Oh, Trench Crusade looks incredible. It looks so good. If you've got any interest in the grim dark side of Warhammer and that sort of demons and angels and all that sort of stuff, Trench Crusade is right up your street. It's dialed up to 11. It's grimmer than Warhammer. It's absolutely disgusting. It's horrible looking, but I love it. And it's set in World War One in our timeline, but think about it as if on the first crusade that happened in like 1100 or whenever it was, they opened a gate to hell underneath Jerusalem.
Okay.
And since the first crusade in 1100, literal real demons from hell have been coming out onto the surface and killing and going all nuts. So the whole of like the Middle East is like this brutal war zone. And God is real, the Satan is real, and it's imagine a timeline where that's been going on for like 400 years. So people are crazy, and it's mental. All different factions, but as a World War One, so sort of 1914 set and things like that. Super hyper religious, but really twisted and grim and horrible and stuff. So yeah, really cool. Give it a Google. Make sure you get safe search off because you won't see any of the really gnarly images. But yeah,
not suitable for
cool.
The office then.
No, God no, God no. But yeah, I'm really excited for Trench Crusade. Yeah, so that's tabletop for me. That's what's singing my praises of. That's what I'm singing the praises of this year and scratching the itch this year.
Very good, very good. If anyone's got anything they're interested in,
send it over. Yeah.
Send it over
Pass
so
it
we
over.
can go and find out what's happening, both from a RPG point of view, but also from a war gaming point of view, because that'd be cool. Find out what we're missing, what we should be.
Yeah.
I'm going to set you a challenge now before films.
One movie this year that I'm looking forward to.
See if we can find one. Because the rest you could... I know when we get to video games later.
They've already done the movie I wanted to see this year. It came out on New Year's Day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you're interested in Adam's opinion of that, listen to episode 20.
Yeah, episode previous 20, yeah.
There must be something. Are you aware of any movies?
In
life.
Well, I'm aware of the concept of movies.
Okay.
These things exist. Is the new Captain America coming out this year?
Yeah, in 2 weeks' time.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, great.
You didn't know that, did you?
I didn't know it was 2 weeks' time. Seriously, how much I've paid attention to it. I was thinking about this the other day. I was playing Marvel Rivals on the PlayStation with a couple of friends. And I was like, I haven't seen a Marvel film for God knows how long now. Like, I can't remember the last Marvel. Oh no, I watched the second Black Panther. I think that was the last.
You watched Deadpool?
Yeah, and Deadpool. But does that really count?
It does, because it's in the MCU, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But technically it counts. It was the only one they released last year.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's not like I'm missing them.
No, it's literally the only one they released last year.
Yeah, because I haven't seen the Marvels or any of that.
No, that was not very good.
And there's a lot of the TV shows I've not watched. I think I watched like one episode of Agatha all along.
Okay. What's interesting about the Marvels, just a brief sidebar, but it's relevant, is the girl who played Miss Marvel.
Iman Vellani.
Yeah. I rated it somewhere on Rotten Tomatoes or something and gave it a really low rating herself.
Yeah.
When I love this woman, as in Brie Larson, but which I thought was really interesting. She wasn't slagging it off.
No, but I've seen a little bit about Iman Vellani and how she, before she got the job as Ms. Marvel, she was a big cinephile and like did a big letterbox stuff and always chucked reviews up for movies and stuff, and was a big, super fan anyway, which is really cool because the character of Ms. Marvel is a Marvel super fan as well, so loves all these characters and knows all about them and stuff. So for her to get the job is kind of perfect, really. But apparently now she's back to
cinephiling,
and sort of commenting and
very
reviewing
good
and everything. So good on her.
I've Marvel wise, I was a sucker for it. I am more Marvel than DC boy.
Yeah, I've seen a DC film for ages,
but also from a comic book, and
they
both got their place. And I love Court of Owls and I love Batman, but I'm not a big. I'm just not. It's fine. It's just not my thing. So, and the Marvel's done its. This year, what's interesting is, by all accounts, and this isn't me. We're looking for positives. We're
trying to be more positive.
We're trying to be positive about 25. There's been some rumours, and it's rumours or not, that the Captain America pre-screenings, test screenings didn't go very well, so it's had 4 million re-edits and recuts. So this is the worry that it could be not very good from an edit point of view, not because it wasn't good. I'm looking forward to seeing who's in it that isn't in the trailer.
Harrison Ford, isn't it?
No, but he's in the trailer quite a lot.
Falcon, Winter Soldier.
I'm going to wait for you.
What's the actor's name? I've forgotten.
Anthony Mackie plays Captain America.
Thank you.
Yeah, but in terms of who's in it, that's like that, because I know that they brought back John Turturro.
Right.
Okay, so way back when Ed Norton played the Incredible Hulk.
Yeah.
Is it John Turturro?
It's Tim Roth, wasn't it?
No, the scientist.
Oh.
He helped them.
Right.
He is a proper character.
You're going back a bit now, aren't you?
He was a character from the graphic novels. He wasn't just a random guy.
Right.
And they're bringing him back. And so on. So, but what I'm really interested in, by all accounts, the test screenings were not as positive originally for Captain America, so they've gotten a little bit worried. But the test screenings for the Thunderbolts, they were...
Oh God, that's the other one, isn't it? Yeah,
but
the Suicide Squad equivalent.
It's Marvel's Suicide Squad, but they were worried about that, and the test screenings are more positive.
Yeah.
For that. So I'm more interested. I'm interested in them all.
But the thing is with it now is
Fantastic Four. That's
is it this year? Fantastic Four. See, that's the one that sort of goes, okay, yeah, that looks like it might be quite good.
And what will be interesting about that one is it's set in the 60s, and it's very much. Do you remember the Jetsons, the cartoon?
Yeah,
it'll be that kind of vibe.
Good, and what's a nice point about that is that I won't have to have watched all the other MCU stuff to get,
because it's going to do what Captain America did. The original Captain America, stick it in the 40s. Yeah. In that case, stick this in the 60s.
Have a fresh start.
And kind of introduce the characters with no need to connect it to the MCU at all.
Oh, lovely. That's good.
So I am genuinely hopeful.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to. I do like it. I own them all. It's the only set of Blu-rays I've bothered to buy.
It's the thing, isn't it? Because you've committed to the collection now, haven't
you? And I've bought all the steelbooks and hunted them out.
Oh God!
And they're not worth anything anymore.
No.
I looked once because I was going to I got rid of a bunch, and they went. They're like £35 to buy individually. They're worth about 50p when you resell them. So I'm committed, and I want. Yeah. But the other thing I'm more interested in, which is a TV thing, which I'll come to later, is a TV Marvel thing, because I think we're both interested in that. From a movie's perspective, I was trying to think what else is out, and the further into the year, I kind of lose track of what's coming.
Yeah.
But two things that I'm vaguely interested in. I'm really interested in A Real Pain, which is soon. So it's Jesse Eisenberg and Kieran Culkin. It's a drama.
Oh, I think it's
They go to
two
Poland.
friends going around
They're
Europe.
cousins
yeah,
that go to Poland.
That's right. I've seen the trailer for that, actually. That looks cool.
I like Kieran Culkin, because it's Kieran Culkin,
Mm-hmm.
and because of the...
What was he in? Wasn't he...
He was in
Mean Girls. Was he in Mean Girls?
I don't know, I've not seen Mean Girls.
It's a good movie.
Is he?
Yeah.
Okay.
The original Lindsay Lohan one, yeah. Brilliant.
Okay. He was... recently, he was in... my brain's gone. He was in the HBO show, Brian Cox, where... This is where Kevin will shout the name of the thing. Bear with me. This is Listen to a Man. Look on IMDb. Because I know Succession. Of course he was.
Right,
That's the name of Awesome. He was one of the kids in Succession.
Yeah, people raved about Succession.
But also, Jim, my favourite Kieran Culkin thing so far is when he was in Scott Pilgrim as his housemate.
That's where he wasn't Mean Girls, he was Scott Pilgrim. Yeah.
But you know,
he was. You should watch Mean Girls anyway because it's great.
But no, I think so. That I'm interested in. I'm slightly not confused. The other film I was interested to watch this year was Mickey 17, which is based off a book called Mickey 7.
And it's
Pattinson.
My wife sent me the trailer for it the other day. Pattinson going like respawning, dying and respawning.
The second trailer made me cautious. The first trailer I liked because the first trailer was the tone I was expecting. The second trailer is more funny. Yeah,
it was the same trailer you've seen. It's the one. There's one I got sent and saw was Stephen Yeun going. So what's it like to die? At one point, he was like, Stephen Yeun. I love Stephen Yeun.
So it's changing. It's changed. Kevin should be writing said it's the tone of the book is more like the first trailer than the second trailer.
Right.
But it's the guy who made Parasite.
Okay, yeah, it's Bong Joon-ho, isn't it?
Yeah. And I really enjoy Parasite.
Parasite's great.
So I'm interested to see what they do with it, and it's got Ruffalo in it, and it's got some. So that will be really interesting. I'm less excited, randomly, and this is really obscure for me. The other movie I'm looking forward to seeing this year is The Last Showgirl.
Not heard that.
It's a Coppola
okay.
directing, Pamela Anderson and Jamie Lee Curtis and Dave Bautista, and it's literally about the last performance of a showgirl in Vegas.
Okay.
But it won't be this, but imagine the wrestler to Mickey Rourke is the last showgirl to Pamela Anderson. Yeah. It's that kind of story.
Okay, interesting.
So, but I watched her documentary recently.
Pamela Anderson?
Yeah. Because when they brought out that TV show about do you remember the TV show that they put on Disney, on Hulu, about the Pam and Tommy?
Oh, yes, of course.
Seth Rogen in it, right?
Yeah. I never watched it.
No, I watched the first 3 episodes and thought, why am I watching this?
Yeah.
But the story, and then she was really upset, Pamela Anderson, understandably, on one level. On every level, because it isn't private anymore, but why dig it up? And then she released a documentary where they also touched on it. Right. It's not the only thing they talk about, but they look at it. And I watched that recently just to see, okay, what's happened in 30 years since she was Baywatch and all. Just out of interest, she's changed and different. And she now doesn't wear makeup famously ever.
Okay.
At any premiere, she refuses to do the glam thing on a principle.
Good for her. Well done.
So anyway, so that interests me. And then the show came out.
Excuse me.
And Batista's in it, who I love. Doing his Batista.
He's really showed himself as an actor, isn't he, Batista?
Yeah.
Because I remember him as a wrestler.
Yeah. And he's trying, and he said in recent, and since this side of Christmas, I didn't want to be the next Rock. I don't want to be the next Rock. I want to be more than that.
Yeah, he doesn't want to be
a
gormless action hero, wears a tan shirt
and then decide that the best quote was recently when he watched Red One, and he wasn't comparing the two, but he watched Oppenheimer and went, we need to do our Christmas Red One film like they've done Oppenheimer. He wasn't comparing the films, he was comparing the fact they were on IMAX and it's big.
Yeah.
But the comedy value was that if you only read the sentence, you go, what? You're comparing Oppenheimer to Red One.
It's a Red One.
Which was amazing. But yeah, so there is stuff to come, and I'm sure there'll be other stuff to come. But from a TV perspective, I know you mentioned this to me.
Yeah.
The Marvel thing I'm excited about is Born Again.
Yeah. Oh, Daredevil.
Born Again.
I love Daredevil. I've loved Daredevil for years.
He's my favourite superhero.
He's definitely in my top 3 for sure.
And I realised that because it used to be a cat.
Yeah.
And I play Batman, like the world likes Batman. But when I watched, and I wasn't too, when I first started watching the Netflix show, I didn't kind of know the character very much.
Okay.
And I wasn't too fussed.
Yeah.
And the show made me go back and read and figure it out. But having gone
You've
back,
got my Brian Michael Bendis stuff, haven't you? Yeah.
they get the tone. They got the tone so right in the Netflix show,
Mm-hmm.
and the vibe was right, and Kingpin was right.
Yep. Oh, Vincent D'Onofrio was incredible as Kingpin.
And then I was a little bit worried when he was in Hawkeye. I love Hawkeye.
Yeah.
But it was like...
It was a different character. It didn't seem like the menacing,
because
scary...
and it couldn't be, because it's Hawkeye and it's 12 rated. And
Yeah.
It was, and you couldn't... The scene in the first season of Daredevil where he smashes that guy's face into the car,
in the car door. Yeah.
Until just the blood gushes. You clearly can't do that in Hawkeye. So I get why it wasn't the same.
It was cool seeing him take an arrow to the chest and just keep going.
Yeah.
You're just like, yeah, what?
Yeah.
Yes, okay, he's not
And then I wasn't... And when they threw Daredevil into She-Hulk,
yeah,
and I went, only because it wasn't the same tone again.
No.
And I was like, what are you going to do with Born Again?
No, it was horny Matt Murdock.
And it was horny. And he is.
Yeah,
so
and
famously...
he's a famously horny man.
He'll sleep with everyone and anyone.
He womanises all over the MCU.
And it's like, okay, so what, yes. And then it's like, so what are you going to do? And then what was encouraging was with Daredevil, they scrapped the entire thing. Like when they realised they were doing it wrong and started again.
Right.
Like they binned all the scripts, they binned the director and the showrunner, and they started again.
Oh, okay. From Born Again?
Yeah.
Ooh.
So the Born Again now is not...
gnarly, doesn't it?
The trailer looks like season 1, 2 and 3.
Snapping limbs and, punching people's lights
and
out
they
and
bought,
stuff. Like,
and they brought back Page and they brought back Nelson and
Excellent.
they brought back Bernthal.
Yeah.
And they brought trailers, if you notice. I didn't know. I don't think I knew until the trailer. They brought back bloody Bullseye.
It's not Colin Farrell again, is it?
No. But Bullseye was in the third series.
Yeah.
Did you see the third series?
I did.
So him, I didn't know he was in it.
Right.
In this new show.
I might go back and watch it.
So even if it's a cameo, they've got the same actor back. So, because I recently rewatched season 3 after the trailer, and I binged it in a week.
Yeah, I might go back and go.
And it was just like, okay, it's Poindexter, that's what it's called in the season 3, and it's the same actor. And I thought, okay, whether you were a little cameo or whatever, I respect the fact you've come back. And if there's rumours, they're going to knock off Page and Nelson.
They can't do that.
Well, they do in the books.
Oh.
Well, they do Page anyway.
Oh, I like Karen Page. She's
yeah,
great.
But this is what's
Deborah Ann Wall again, I hope.
Yeah. But it was interesting is that she wasn't contacted when they first greenlit the show.
Oh, really?
She was contacted after the rewrites. So they weren't in it. They weren't invited back. She said, I'm up for it, but no one's talked to me. Yeah. So I watched an interview with her. They weren't in it. I don't know if Bernthal was in it.
Interesting.
But what's interesting for us, you and me, is this is the most enthusiastic about Marvel we've been.
Oh god, yeah! Oh, yeah, absolutely. Like it's been, and it was one of those things that was teased on the horizon. Because I know they do their big roadmap thing, didn't they? Like I talked earlier about the 40k roadmap.
Yeah.
Marvel one, didn't they? And I remember looking at their previous roadmap and going, Daredevil Born Again, that would be cool.
If they do it right, and it'd be like this to be.
But then I was also, and I think it's the same with a lot of Marvel fans, especially people who have been around and watched it from sort of conception and stuff. That instead of being like, the next thing, it's like, I hope they get it right. Yeah. I hope they do it well.
And that's when when the new trailer drops and the tone matched and the music matched the show, and they've kept the theme because why not? You own the rights to it, use it. Yeah. It's like not using John Williams' music for Star Wars.
No, it wouldn't be Star Wars.
It wouldn't be it's all the same level.
I'm not saying that because obviously a lot of the new Star Wars stuff they don't use John Williams. None of the TV show stuff uses.
No,
John
it's the
Williams,
movies they have. And interesting was the exception to that, which I realised, was the Obi-Wan show. The theme tune is written by John Williams. Everything else isn't. But they asked him.
They asked him to do the theme.
Maybe that's because he's a character that he's written for.
Well, yeah, absolutely.
But so hopefully
Daredevil will be really good. And if it is really good, expect a podcast episode us waxing lyrical.
No, definitely. And what's encouraging, I don't know if it's true or not, is IMDb have got 18 episodes listed, which is not one long season, it's 2 seasons.
Okay. But we'll see, won't we? So, because these things get a tendency to not do very well, or we get viewers under the respected amount and then get canned. So, let's see.
We will, but I'm encouraged because my other link to that is the 2 directors. Mm-hmm. This is really geeky, but this is a geek podcast. So, If we ever do my Know Your Beard episode, I'm going to do my top 10 films. 10 films you should watch.
You say it every week.
I know. But one of them is a really low budget, micro budget film.
Yeah.
Some guys I really like. And they helped, and then they did a second film and the guy who produced the film and starred one of the actors in it is now the director of Daredevil.
Oh, cool.
And he's done a bunch of other stuff, but he kind of does one really indie, low-budget film and then does something for someone else. So he's done some episodes of the new Twilight Zone.
Right, there's Jordan Peele stuff.
Yeah, and he does. There are
I've
duets.
never got round to watching the Jordan Peele Twilight
No,
Zone,
I haven't.
And I'm sure it's really good as well, because I love his stuff.
Yeah, and I'm really interested in I think he directed it. Is he involved in Monkey? No, he's not.
No, it's King.
No, he's involved in Monkey Man, which is already out.
Which is, with Dev Patel, isn't it? Which I've not seen, and apparently that's really good.
Yeah. So, other TV.
Yeah, the only other thing that sort of I'm waiting for and will watch day when it releases at the moment is Invincible Season 3. It's been one of those things, like I can't sing the praises of that TV show enough because I'm a huge comic books fan of it. You know, it's the one comic series that I own every issue that came out, and I also own all of the sort of, well, as much as was available when I was really into it, all the periphery stuff.
Okay.
So they did a bunch of like sort of spin-offs and one-offs, and
and you went to collect them all.
And I went and collected them all because I absolutely loved it, and it was off the back of watching Walking Dead.
Yeah.
Getting into Walking Dead, reading The Walking Dead up to Compendium 3. I think they're on Compendium 5 or something now. I don't know.
It's finished now.
Yeah, well, it's finished now.
He didn't warn people, by the way, at sidebar.
Oh, did he not?
No, he just
Oh,
stopped.
see, I fell out of love with The Walking Dead.
Yeah, me too. But he just stopped, and then the show went, because they ran out of content to follow.
Right.
I don't think he warned the publishers too much.
Fair. Well, he's got his own thing, hasn't he?
But anyway, sorry, go on.
But yeah, then me on to looking at who is this Robert Kirkman character, and going, what else has he done? Finding Invincible. This is way before the show came out, sort of thing. And going, this is the best comic book I've ever read. This is fantastic. Best superhero story I've ever read. And he's also, Mark Grayson, Invincible, is in my top 3 superheroes of all time. But for those of you wanting to know, it's Spider-Man, Mark Grayson, and Daredevil are my top 3.
That's a combo.
Yeah. But yeah, I absolutely loved it. And they've been doing the animated TV show now for quite a while. The seasons take bloody ages to come out, like a year to 18 months between each season. And then they tend to do these things. It's on Amazon Prime where they do like 5 episodes and then break for 3 months. And then come back and do the rest of the series.
Is that to give them time to make it?
I don't know. But it's but when it does come out, it's bloody great. It's fantastic. And if you've got Amazon Prime and you're interested in any sort of like bright, colourful yet ultra-violent TV show, because I know I've tried to wax at you about it.
Yeah, you've not got
round to it, have
no.
you? But it's brilliant. It's fantastic. So season 3 comes out this year. It's got an all-star-studded voice acting cast of really high-end like stars who do a lot of cool stuff. Stephen Yeun is Mark Grayson. His dad is J.K. Simmons. His mum is Sandra Oh.
Okay.
So, like, give you an idea, there's like loads of famous people in it. Walton Goggins is his FBI or his government handler and stuff like that. So, it's a really cool voice cast. Seth Rogen is an alien. It's got lots of famous people in it. Really worth a go. The episodes are short, like 25 minutes, half an hour long. As I say, it's beautifully colourful. So, it's like you're watching a Saturday morning cartoon, and then someone will get their punch so hard their eye pops out their head, and it's in every gory detail because it's Robert Kirkman.
Because I did dabble with Outcast, which was
his possession exorcism thing,
and I dabbled with the show, and it wasn't I didn't like
the show. I've got the first graphic novel they did of Outcast. It was alright. It was just Walking Dead with demons on it, so I was like, meh.
The other one, of course, is Super Dinosaur.
Yeah, Super Dinosaur was cool. The first
only because I could give my kids a Kirkman book that they could read.
Absolutely. Well, the first Kirkman book he did, and I've got all of the graphic novels of it, was Battle Pope, which I'm more than happy to lend you at some point.
Amazing!
But it is incredibly early 2000s, late 90s, and it's exactly what they think Duke Nukem, but it's the Pope.
Just made me feel old because half the world won't know what you
is. But that's exactly what Battle Pope is. It was great fun. I went on a bit of I'm going to collect everything Robert Kirkman's written.
I'm going to listen to a man. There it is. I'm just Googling it while I'm sat here.
Battle Pope. Yeah, exactly. Look at him with his ripped abs and his holy cross.
And the fact that Jesus...
he's carrying 2 pistols.
Oh, now, if this wasn't a present for my dad's next birthday... If you missed out about the first time around, now is your chance to find out what everyone's been talking about. God leaves behind St. Michael, the leader of the army, to act... Oh my God. Amazing.
Yeah. I'll lend it to you if you want.
Hang on. God then enlists the aid of the Pope to rescue Michael and leaves his son, Jesus H. Christ, to assist him in the quest. Oh, I am all over this. Twisted religion is my thing. That's... Okay. Yeah, I'm in. I'm all in.
I'll bring them around for you. You can have a look.
That's...
but yeah, so that's what I'm looking forward to TV show-wise. The last thing that we wanted to cover as well was video games. And I don't think it's possible to cover the whole of 2025 in one podcast. So there is a lot coming out. This month is got four or five titles already that I'm quite excited about. Not to mention all of the indie stuff and all the updates and all of the things to existing games. Darkest Dungeon 2 has got a big update coming out in like 3 days from recording, so I'm very excited about that. Ooh. But there's 3 or 4, maybe 5 video games that are coming out this month, which I'm quite excited about.
Go!
Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. Kingdom Come Deliverance was a medieval RPG, but more like a simulator. So you're not a Skyrim-style Dragonborn.
Yeah.
You are the lowly peasant son of a blacksmith whose country is invaded by the Cumans in the early...
The Cumans?
Yeah. So
Isn't that a herb? Spice?
No. It's early 13th century.
No, you just said Cumans.
Yeah,
I was cracking a silly joke.
Yeah, I get you.
You just didn't laugh. Laugh, man!
Sorry. But yeah, it's balls hard. It was balls hard. Like, if you're trying to fight someone, for example, you're in full plate armor.
Yeah.
When you go into a fight, you put your helmet down. You can only see out of the visor of said helmet. So you've got a vision field of about 3 inches.
Nice.
And there's people coming at you from all angles. A one-on-one fight, if you're trying to fight another knight in plate mail armor and you have a sword, you are not going to get through that armor. You can fight him all day long.
It's not going to happen. How
are you going to get a broadsword to slash plate armor? It's not going to happen. You need to know an axe. You need a mace.
Something heavy.
Things like that. It was really in depth, really cool, and they've done. And I finished the first one, which I don't finish video games, so it gives you an idea of how much I enjoyed it. The second one's out on the 4th of February. It looks very good. It's a continuation of the story of the first one. Quick synopsis of the first game. You are the son of a blacksmith who is making a sword for a lord, a noble.
Yeah.
Your village is attacked, burned to the ground. You manage to escape with said sword to warn the nearby castle and garrison and things. You deliver the sword to Sir Radzig, who then takes you on as his ward, and you basically try and promote yourself from lowly peasant up to squire, up to knight, and go through that sort of thing, and get revenge for the death of your father and mother, and on the Cumans who are invading your holy Bohemia. But yeah, it was very cool, and this one looks like your continuation of that story, but now squire to another lord, going across another land in a different part of the world. So
nice,
but historically accurate down to a fault. Like, they went and looked at the original places and stuff. These games take a long time to come out because they take so much care and detail over exactly what
the specific.
Yeah. So you can go to Rattay, where the first game is set, and see it, and it looks like it does in the game. Obviously, it's a lot more modern, but you can see the buildings and stuff that they took for the. Yeah, nice. It's very clever, and the castles.
So if you want to play as a knight, play as a knight in that.
Yeah, absolutely. The other games that are coming out this month are Civilization 7. Sydney is Civilization 7. Civilization is the sort of game that Steph, my wife, likes to call dad video games. Where it's a big map and you have to conquer the world slowly.
Playing Risk in a game.
Effectively. But there's a few other steps and stuff. Different ways to win science victory and culture victory and all military. Yeah, so we can be the first civilization to get to Alpha Centauri. And that is how you claim a science victory. But you start in the Stone Age and you progress all the way up to Space Age.
Okay.
And Civilization is a fantastic video game. So we're on the 7th iteration, and it's just gonna be lots of fun. If you're a strategy game nerd like I am, you'll know what Civilization is. And yeah, it'll be one of those games that you're either excited to play or you're like, I couldn't give a crap about. Do you know what I mean? Honestly, it's a proper Marmite thing, but I'm very up for Civ 7.
Nice.
That comes out, 11th, I think it is, 11th February. The other thing that's coming out this month is Pirate Yakuza in Hawaii.
You showed me the trailer for this.
I tried to explain it to you, didn't I? And it wasn't really landing, so I was like, watch a trailer.
So the trailer that I saw, and you explained to me, was from previous games. Yakuza dude wakes up with no memory in Hawaii on a beach, and then decides to be a pirate in modern times with a galleon. Yeah, literally.
Yeah.
I mean, the face I'm pulling, folks, is worth an Instagram post. It's okay. I mean, it looks ridiculously fun.
Yeah, and it is. It's just a proper turn your brain off, stupid good laugh. You know, and
the melodrama of the Japanese storytelling.
In previous Yakuza games, the mainline story of the game is usually quite a serious and melodramatic sort of soap opera almost level of, you know, drama and intrigue and stuff like that. But what's beautiful about these video games is that alongside that, so between each really poignant and hard-hitting mission, we were delving into a character's backstory, or, you know, revenge for their dead friend or whatever it is, or their, you know, name being framed for a crime or whatever. You're doing stuff like Uber Eats delivery. You're collecting Pokemon, or you're in the previous game you had an entire Animal Crossing island you could build. Like, just because why not? Like, so because they just jam as much content into these games as they possibly can. Karaoke. I've bought a video game for Yakuza, literally just used it for the karaoke minigame. It's fantastic. Like, it's so good. If you want a game where you can do literally anything you want, pretty much down to that isn't Grand Theft Auto, like, Yakuza's where it's at, man.
Wow.
So yeah, I'm very excited for Pirate Yakuza in Hawaii. I think that'll be a good laugh.
Very good. So what I showed you about earlier was, my brain's gone,
Dawnwalker.
Yeah. Or something, which is basically the one that Kev should be writing sent it me, because I've
not heard of it. I've not heard of it until you showed me the trailer.
And I hadn't. It's basically the guy who directed Witcher 3, and you can tell within 30 seconds watching the trailer it's a Witcher vibe to it.
The music's a witchery, even the trees look witchery, if that makes sense. You know, that sort of landscape of, what was it, White Orchard and the Witcher 3 and stuff. It's like,
And you end up playing as a daywalker, in effect, so Blade but not Blade.
But medieval.
But in medieval times, and it looks... Really, the gameplay looks fun. The cinematics looks cool.
Yeah, I mean, at the moment they've just got like a big cinematic story trailer, haven't they, sort of thing. So I don't know what gameplay will look like, but if I assume it'll be Witcher style.
And then, of course, Witcher itself, with Ciri being the main.
Hell yeah!
Is that this year?
I don't know if that's this year or not.
2026. But yes, so that's, in fact, the Daywalk thing is this year. So everything we said is either out now or coming out in 2025.
Yeah.
Lots to be positive about.
Yeah, there's a lot coming out to look forward to.
The future is bright, almost.
I was going to say the future is orange. Orange has not existed as a company for, 15 years?
Marketing has done you.
It's brain rotted me. Wow. Okay. Cut that bit out.
I can edit this out. I won't.
Cut that.
The power is in my hands. So there is lots to look forward to. There's a bunch of stuff. Anyone who cares, and then once season 3 of the Yellow Jackets is out. For those of you who seen,
didn't watch season 1 and 2 yet. But
really good.
I'll tell you what, make a deal. You watch Invincible, I'll watch Yellow Jackets.
No, because you haven't sung. When you sing, I'll watch it. I'll watch Invincible when you sing.
Okay.
I won't. But Yellow Jackets exciting. Yellow Jackets is a cross between Lost, and Lord of the Flies.
Okay.
Monday Times football. The Yellow Jackets are ladies.
Really, happy-go-lucky content.
Oh no, it's complete horror. It's so Yellow Jackets are the team. It's a girls' soccer team, football team, and they crash on their way to a finals, and they end up. This isn't spoilers.
Eating each other
shit. And it's the back. So they're very similar to Lost in the sense of you see them in modern days as adults.
Yeah.
And what happened to them then.
Yeah.
And someone's blackmailing them because someone knows what's happened.
Right.
And in season 2, Elijah Wood turns up.
Oh, cool.
Who is a huge horror fan. He produced Mandy.
He has his own company, doesn't he?
Yeah, Spectrovision.
Yeah.
And he produced Colour Out Space.
Yep. Isn't he going to be? He's in the new Toxic Avenger as well, isn't he?
He's a huge horror fan.
Yeah.
And I love the fact that he was not comedy relief, but he was a side character.
Yeah.
And his plot was interesting, but they've apparently, from an interview I watched him do the other day online, he's got more of a thread of plot in season 3. So anyway, that's coming.
Does he wear wigs?
Does he wear wigs? Do
you wear wigs?
Yeah. And as a complete light and fluffy counterpoint to horror, because I genuinely would like it, season 3 of Strange New Worlds is out, which is Star Trek. Which is the closest, if you watch it, it's the closest to the original trilogy in its heart and its vibe and its spirit, and it's just, everything's going to be all right. That kind
Star
of
Trek is around.
But so yeah,
it's a nice cuddly Star Trek.
That's the point of the world. The whole point of Star Trek, if you talk to geeks, is the fact that some people have been inspired by it. Apparently, the world will be all right. This is the future they aspire to, and okay, it will be okay. And of course, we're not there, but it's meant to be happy-go-lucky and fun. And there's the dark side of Star Trek, and there's the twisted whatever. But this has its vibe in it. Season 2, they had a musical episode where, for a plot contrivance, they made everyone sing. So it's light and fluffy and stupid, but it's genuinely, it reminds me of sitting and watching Star Trek with my dad.
Yeah, okay.
So that's the vibe.
Yeah.
So that's up to.
You're allowed to watch Star Trek.
Your dad. Hey, my dad introduced me to many things, including, not limited to, Terminator, Blade Runner.
To his knowledge, yeah. He
was
aware of the content of these products. Yeah. Oh, cool.
He wasn't as dark and he wasn't as...
I thought your dad was a square.
No, not then. No, he introduced me to a bunch of stuff.
Cool.
And because he was the sci-fi nerd. So the reason I love Blade Runner is his fault, and that isn't dark and twisted. But equally, I watched that with him because of him. And I remember my mum, although it's absolutely fun, great. Final story from me before I move on to our last thing. My 15th birthday, because I lived in quite a conservative. My parents bought me TT.
Yeah.
It was 15.
Judgment Day.
And I was allowed to watch it because I was 15. And I lived in a very strict house. But they bought it for me. And then my mum refused to watch it because she didn't like the language.
Yeah.
Because every other word is the F-bomb. But my dad sat and watched it on my birthday. I remember religiously. It was a Saturday. So it was a day off from school. We had lunch together and watched it on TV in the middle of the day. One of my fondest memories because my dad watched T2.
Yeah.
So anyway, sidebar. Before we go,
yeah,
it's been an hour. I'm going to make you do this.
Okay.
Because we've had it requested. No, not singing. The quickest Hobbit corner you've ever done, because we've not done it in a couple of weeks.
Oh, okay.
So update us on what Hobbits.
Right, so I've been painting raptors now for quite some time. And
Clever Girl raptors?
No, Space Marine raptors.
Okay. I'm disappointed.
I've got the paint scheme dialed in. I had a bit of a crazy moment. I picked up a miniature and had him off the sprue built and painted within 24 hours. Unheard of for me. But yeah.
Did you just go...
I'm really excited to get this guy done.
But did you like...
No, he's to my standard.
Okay, crap then.
Oh, thanks. Thanks. I'm out. I quit. Done. Screw your Hobbit corner. No, I've been painting raptors, and I'm really enjoying it. And then the more I get done, the more I put on the table at each crusade, the nicer it feels. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very
good. Yourself?
I have restarted Alien, playing Heart of Darkness, which we started just before Christmas.
Yep.
And we had then the Christmas break, and then we had to figure out a date when everyone could meet. So we restarted that on Tuesday this current week. We're playing that fortnightly, making people go mad and fighting. We dubbed him Backflaps. You remember the creature we introduced you to at the end of episode 1? This weird new beastie, as they've done in the RP, where it's not just
because it's like xenomorphs is a bit like, okay, you fought one, you fought more.
This dude was a dude, because of the kind of Prometheus Covenant vibe, where his head had been removed, his arms had been removed, but his back opened, and on the flaps of his skin were eyes, and he stood up and then went for you, and then his tremors tentacles came to grab you.
Yeah, cool.
So that was cool. And then on Wednesday this week, just gone, I started case number 2,
Blade Runner.
Blade Runner,
Yeah.
which is a different tone, great vibe, made my players go a bit mad in terms of paranoia already.
Oh, good. Well, that's what you're aiming for, isn't it?
So yeah, Hobbit's
Cool.
Corner. So that's my Hobbits.
There we are.
So be positive, folks, in the midst of life, and it's only January, and the orange tip. There is good stuff out there to both placate, make you happy, and life goes on outside of the stuff.
Absolutely.
That was the intention of this episode, was to go look fun stuff you could engage with. If you've got fun stuff that you want to do that you think we should know about that we can engage with,
please do contact us and let us know.
And we shall talk about it
next
next
week.
week.
To get us out of the pit of social media and stuff.
Yes, that's also true. Thanks.
Much love. Sorry about the coughing this episode. I've got a frog in my throat. It is January.
See, hibernate in January in your throat. Give it a name.
Ribbit.
Okay. And on this note, Adam's going to sing.
Bye.